I'm gonna try iPhone 7 with Iniola says, I have some trivial questions of all the tutorials I've come across, all the research I've made. It's usually called UI/UX design, but here you call it UX/UI design. Is there anything different as regards that? Now, the thing is, the reason why it is called UX UI is because the UX comes first. As a matter of fact, UI is just a subset of UX. I'm going to try to share my screen and really go to Figma to show you just an illustration of what I mean by that. Okay, so let's go to Figma and let me create a frame here. And I like to use this illustration to help people to understand, what UX and UI mean. So we say we have this circle. Let's give it a stroke. Let's make this 4. And in here, in this, we have user experience. And I'm going to create a smaller circle. Just take out the fill and just do this. Because then we have user interface. Okay. So if you don't remember anything, I think this is going to help you remember. This is going to help you really understand. So when we talk about user experience, experience has to do with everything the user experiences. And when we talk about user interface, we're talking about just the visual aspect of it. And the visual is also part of the experience. Now, most industry specialists really call it UX UI because experience comes first. It's just a thing of what comes first before the other. So experience comes first before the UI. That's basically the reason why it's being called that way. So yes, I can stop sharing my screen and go back to the questions. Please, what is happening? What is the meaning of breakpoints in UI? Respond. Very good question, Habib. I just want to know if having a UI UX certificate, example, Coursera certificate at Edge in learning a job. Okay, the chats are really coming in a lot. So it does break, but still fine, could hear you. Exactly, thanks, I can hear. What is a motion designer? Okay, before I go on to answer more of the questions, I'm just going to start with the motion designer. So when we talk about motion, we're talking about movements. And a motion designer is the person who really takes care of basically the animations that happens. Most of the time, people specialize in those kind of things, like really specialize on movements and animations that happen in user interfaces, and that's what a motion designer does. Does a certificate help you stand out? This question, I would say yes and no. Now, the reason I would say a certificate would make you stand out is that if the company that you're applying to is looking out for somebody who has a certificate and they're really bent on like, oh, is this person certified in some certain way, then yes, it's going to benefit you. But even if you do not have a certificate and you have the experience and you have the portfolio to really show that, you have the knowledge, you can do the job, then a certificate, whether or not you have it, it's not really at an advantage to you, because of course you have the experience to show for it, you have the solid portfolio to show for it. So it is a yes and no question. It depends on who is hiring. Should we have voted? Okay, what does an interaction designer do? Basically the same thing as a UX designer. Does a UX designer specialize only in UX design? UX design is the end-to-end process. It is everything from start to finish. So it is not a specialization, it is everything. UI can be specialized, content strategists can be specialized, UX researchers can specialize, but a UX designer does basically the entire design process. So it's been 2 weeks now and I still don't get the hang of UI UX. I really am interested, but this is from Temi Dayo. It seems so hard and I just don't understand what I am doing. Now, Temi, really, I wanted to talk about this part in a later session, but since you brought it up, I'm going to talk about it now. So when you do start out UX designer, like UX UI design or UI UX, as most people just pronounce it because of the ease, you said you've been learning for 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks from my from my guesses and intuition, it's not enough for you to understand everything. As a matter of fact, when you do decide to become a UX UI designer, it's a lifelong learning process, and you really need to be patient with your own pace and your own process, and not really be in a hurry to see those results, because it takes time. So 2 weeks is too short for you to give up on learning UX UI design. Please hold on and keep going. Someone is saying the screen is all green. Is it only King that's having this problem, or other people are having the same problem? Please let me know. Isaac is saying, please, I'm completely newbie in this lighthall stuff. Where are y'all streaming it from? And what am I supposed to do? Okay, we're all newbies in here as well on the lighthall platform. Isaac, if you can hear me clearly, please let me know. Okay. I really have an issue of not knowing what to do when I open. Okay, Habib is saying, I don't know what to do when I open Figma and I spend hours on a particular screen. Please help me, Ma. So from our next class that we'll be having, we'll be going deep diving into very practical classes where I'm going to introduce you to Figma and how we're going to work our way through. We're going to learn things such as building design systems. We're going to learn things such as we're going to create websites. We're going to create mobile applications to really help designers. We're going to talk about picking colors, a whole lot of things that I'm really planning and packing up for you guys to really learn how to become better UI designers. Because from my observation and a lot of people that I have reviewed and seen their works, I really think a lot of practice together and those practical class could really help. But Habib, it's okay. You just need to keep practicing. If you're just starting out as a newbie designer, you need to really keep practicing, because that's how you get better at UI design. It just boils down to practicing a whole lot and training your eyes for to see good designs. So I'm just going to halt on the questions for now and really go on to the second part, which I really wanted to talk about. So there are some key points that I really wanted to talk about to, people that are just starting out. And the first thing is, when you've already made the decision that you want to be a UX UI designer. Now, what you don't want to do is to start your journey by comparing yourself with other people. Like, do not compare yourself with other people when you're just starting out. A lot of designers get it wrong when they start looking at other people's work and comparing, like, oh, this person is at this pace and this is where I am. Because we're all different. We have our different timelines. We have our different paces. So what you can achieve in 3 months or what someone else can achieve in 6 months may not be the same as you. So those comparisons are also the causes of what we call impostor syndrome, because you tend to feel like, oh, I'm not giving it my best because your expectations are so high. So don't start your journey by comparing yourself with other designers. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is being a UX UI designer is to continuously learn and to practice. Now, a lot of people be like, oh, I'm done with the Google course, or I'm done with this course. I did this course on Udemy. I did this course here, and that's it. I'm a UX designer. No, it doesn't end there. Being a UX designer is to continuously learn. There's always something new to learn. There's so much to learn. Like, even no one course alone can teach you everything about UX, UI design. Even as a senior UX designer myself, I still take courses on Interaction Design Foundation. I still have tutorials that I watch most of the time. I think I posted one design on Twitter where it was from a tutorial, and someone actually commented and said, tutorial well watched. So that's to tell you that even though I'm a senior UX designer and UI designer, I still watch tutorials, I still study, and yes, you should also do that too. Another key point I wanted to talk about is while you're on your learning journey, you should start practicing, start applying what you learn, and seek internship positions to gather experience. So it's one thing to learn. Don't get lost on just learning. You're taking courses from different platforms. You're doing, taking tutorials online. You're just learning and gathering information. You need to start applying what you're learning. And there is nothing that can be compared to real life experience. So it doesn't matter how many courses you take. It doesn't matter how many certificates you have. Those real applications, those real work you work on really helps you to solve real problems. Like those side projects that you just do, those design challenges or design tasks, it just ends there. It's really different when you start working on real life problems. So I do advise people to start looking for internship positions, junior positions, and don't wait till you feel like, okay, I want to learn everything before I start applying to those jobs. Apply. Even with your qualification that you feel, oh, I'm not up to the task, I cannot do it, apply. Stop looking down on yourself, apply. Because those experiences really help you, on the job. And another thing I want to talk about is when you start out to learn UX, UI design, rejections are a part of the process. They are a part of life. Not every application that you put out will work for you. So a lot of people be like, oh, I've been applying for jobs. I applied to this position. I've been doing this and I've been getting rejections. Nabel, what do I do? Look, rejections will come. Even I was rejected this morning for something I had applied to. Yes, even as a senior UX designer, even as somebody with experience, I still face rejection. So rejection is something that you're going to face. Now, when you're being rejected for a position at a particular company, it doesn't mean that, the people, they hate you or they don't want to give you the job. Probably at that point in time, you're not the fit of what they're looking for, because when you do apply for a particular position, you're not just the only person applying for that position. You're competing with a whole lot of people that you do not even know their qualifications. You don't know what they're coming with. Everybody's coming with their A game. So it's hurtful to get rejected. Yes, you might feel bad, you might have some, you might feel some type of way, you might feel sad. It's okay to take a break and don't give up. So just know that rejections are part of the process and you will face them. I'm not saying that I'm not praying for you to be rejected, but I'm only letting you know that you should keep pushing. All you need is just one yes. So the next thing I want to talk about is that portfolio is important to give you access to a company. Like, a lot of people apply to jobs and still not have a portfolio. Whether you want to apply as a UX designer or UI designer, you need a portfolio and you need to put one together. The next thing is your first design might suck. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it is completely okay. You just need to keep improving. Now, some people are afraid to share the designs online because they be like, oh, my work is not great. What are people going to say? People are going to attack me. They're going to criticize me. It's perfectly fine. It's okay. I'm telling you, it is okay. One day you're going to come back to those old designs and be like, wow, I have really improved. I have shared my first design on Twitter. If you want to find it, go to my profile, click on the search icon and search for first. Just search for the word first. I think you're going to scroll through. It's an exercise book. It looks really horrible. There are too many colors. Black, purple, everything is everywhere. Like, it's really, really bad. This is just to encourage you. Like, your first design is not going to be perfect, and it is perfectly fine. What you need to do is to keep learning, keep improving, and stop looking for perfection. There's nothing like perfection. There's no perfect design. Whatever we have now, come back a year from now. Whatever thing you designed today, come back a year from now, 3 months, 6 months, you're going to find things that you feel like, oh, this needs to be corrected. This shouldn't be here. This should be this way. So yes, it's okay to have your first design as bad. Be patient and learn at your own pace. Higher pay comes with experience and promotion. So a lot of people, they tell me, Nabel, I'm getting into UX UI because of the money. You know, people are getting good pay and all of that. And yes, you're in for the money. The money will come. Maybe the money is not coming immediately. Maybe your first job is not as, you're not getting as much money as you expected. It's okay. You need to start from somewhere and scale. Start from somewhere and grow. Don't be like, oh, I'm not taking this job. It's not my expected pay. No, don't be like that. Start from somewhere and scale, because you're with experience, you're going to earn higher. And then take a rest when you need to, but don't give up. You can take a rest. You can take a break if you're tired. If maybe you've been learning, it's okay to take a break. I take breaks a lot, but I'm not giving up, and so you shouldn't give up as well. So I'm going to go back to the questions on the chat and see. So Ojoy is saying, is there a difference between UI, UX designer and visual designer? Now, someone who is referred to as a UX, UI designer is doing everything, while like the entire design process, like I said in the beginning, and a visual designer is a specialist. A visual designer is also a UI designer, take note, and that person is specialized in just, creating the interface of the design. So they're not involved in doing research, interviewing users, or conducting any form of research. They're not doing all of those things. They're basically creating the UI. What's the criteria to getting an intern position? Because I have applied for some and I keep getting the same response. Now, when you apply for those jobs, I believe they write the responsibilities. Internship positions usually don't require years of experience because it's an internship, right? They expect you to come and learn on the job. I would advise that, Abdul, you keep applying. Don't give up, like I said. Gabriel says, how do I build my portfolio? Now, take note, a portfolio is a collection of previous case studies that you've worked on. If you're a UX designer, previous case studies that you've worked on. If you're specialized in UI, it could just be your UI designs. But in this time and age, I tell people, don't just have pretty pixels in your portfolio. You need to really explain the why and how you came up with those design solutions, because hiring managers want to know your process as a designer, how you're thinking, how you're coming up with those solutions. So it's not just about having pretty pixels. So your portfolio is a collection of your previous works that you've worked on, and case studies that you've put together. And it's basically a bait for you to get a hiring manager's attention to, give you that slot to interview you and get a job. How do you build one? Like I said, it's based on your past work. So am I the only one not hearing any sound? Yolo, I don't know if you're the only one. Other people, if there's anybody having the same problem, please indicate. Okay. Mine is 4 months and I am still confused. It's okay to be confused. Sometimes you could get confused, like, am I doing something wrong? Everything is not aligning. Like I said before, your timeline and someone else's timeline is different. So just keep at it. I can see your screen clearly. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is Temi. Is there a pathway or course outline for someone coming in? The basics of what I have to know. So if you're coming in to learn UX design, I have created, I think, a very long thread on how you can start on Twitter. I'm going to share this in the Telegram group. So I always tell people, go and take the Google UX course. It has been put together by experts. I have taken the course myself, and I can tell you that it is very comprehensive. It is very thoughtful and put together to really help you to understand UX design. Now, for UI design, hop on YouTube, because if you're just starting out in UI design, you want to train your eyes to see good design, and you also want to learn how to use the tools to create the designs. And the best way to do that is to learn from other creators if you're just starting out, until you're able to start recreating stuff or being creative on your own. So, just hop on YouTube. Okay, how much do I need to know before applying for jobs? This is a very good question. Like I said before, while you're learning, start applying for those jobs, because a whole lot of things that you've already learned, you can start applying them. And again, how do you know you're ready? You will never be 100% ready for anything. So just start applying. Just start applying. Like, don't wait till like, oh, I'm gonna be 100% ready. That's a myth. It doesn't work that way. You cannot be 100% ready. Just start applying. Okay, Smita, this is a good one. Okay, how can I get internship jobs and how can I create my portfolio? So before you start getting those internships, you need to create a portfolio, like I said before, and that portfolio has to do with your previous designs that you've done in the past, previous case studies that you've worked on, and putting those case studies together as one. The different sites that you can use, you can have a personal website, or you can use the Behance website to create your portfolio. Okay, what platforms can you suggest for internships and real life experiments? Now, the thing is, if you live, I don't know where you live in the part of, I don't know where you are right now, Precious, but wherever you are, look around you. There are startups around you. Start applying to those startups around you. Like, really look out for startups, because they could be taking interns or junior positions. Like, that's how you get, most of these things. And also use LinkedIn and use Twitter. LinkedIn, Twitter, those are places that you can get jobs from. Getting internship positions is getting harder by the day. How do we increase our chances of landing an internship position? Now, people want you to have some sort of experience. And in my mentorship session, my previous mentorship session, what I do is to pair designers together to work on a project. So it gives them this experience, like working with other teams, and they come up and build products, create a case study that they can put in the portfolio to really, really stand out. That is what I've been doing, and that is what I advise. So if you don't have an experience yet, you can collaborate with other people. There are some designers who look for, designers to collaborate with. You can do that as well. Some of the times they may not be paying you, but yeah, you need the experience, right? You need those case studies in your portfolio. So do work with other people, and of course, just reach out to people and network as well. Yes, you need a portfolio. You're saying, do you need a portfolio to apply to internships? Yes, you need a portfolio. Please, can you apply for internship without a portfolio? Now, if you apply for an internship without a portfolio and I apply for that same internship with a portfolio, I stand a better chance to get interviewed than you that did not submit any portfolio to show that you can do the work. At least you do understand a little bit of the work. So yeah, you need a portfolio. Should we have a resume before we apply? Yes. Like as with every job, you need a CV, right? You need a resume. So yes, you should have a resume. Hey Nabel, I didn't know how to tell you this, but I guess I do now. I got a free entry kind of like scholarship thingy into a well-loaded and expensive course on Twitter. All this happened because I attempted the second challenge. Shout out to you, Nabel. Hey, shout out to Sam. Congratulations. I'm really happy to hear this. Wow, thumbs up to you. I'm so happy to see this. Congratulations. Okay, I feel like I am I'm drowning in my own words. How do you request, like, can anybody place a request to come on this call and really have, like a real interactive session with me? Because it's like I'm just picking questions and I'm the only one talking. Let me see from this device how that is done. So I don't know how it's done. Let me see how it is done. So then I can tell you how to do it. Probably. I don't know if Sarush is still here to help us understand. Sarush, if you're here, please. Oh, you won't be able to invite learners to join you on. Okay. Since I won't be able to invite any learners, it's okay. So we just go ahead with the questions for now. So as a newbie in UX design, can I include designs I recreated in my portfolio? If it is not originally done by you, I would advise you don't put a recreated work. Rather, you can go on Shopping. It's called www.shopping.design. You get design challenges and you work on those challenges and you can put it in your portfolio. Please do not put someone else's work in your portfolio. The world is a very small place and I wouldn't advise you to do that. Please, can you give an example of a case study, what a case study is? So let's say, for example, okay, a whole lot of users in here, a whole lot of listeners are from Nigeria. And let's say you're working on revamping the user experience of your favorite banking application. Yes, you're basically conducting a case study on that. And you need to explain, like, your entire design process, how you find the problems, how you tend to understand users, and how you go about creating those design solutions. I see a lot of people recreate their favorite banking applications a lot. So yes, that is how you do it. How do I create my CV for internship, being that I'm coming from a medical background to tech field? Now, this is very good. Take note, your previous experience is important. Even though you do not have a UX or UI experience, there are still transferable skills that you can use in the UX design industry. Say if you're coming from a medical background, you've probably done a lot of medical research, and this is going to help you. You really need to outline this when you go for those interviews or when you create your CV. You need to put it out there like, I did this research, I did that research. Because even when you apply for jobs, most of the time, HR, they tend to look at the positions that really fit you, whether to specialize like in UX, research. And so it can really help you. Your previous experience can help you, of course. If I redesign or add a feature to an existing application, can that be added to my portfolio? You can do that. Actually, you can do that. If you redesign or add a feature, say for example, I've seen people add a new feature to Netflix, add a new feature to Airbnb. But then again, when you do that, these applications are very popular, and a hiring manager already knows that you do not work in that organization. So yes, you can do that, but of course, you know what I mean, right? Can I actually finish in 1 month? I don't want to pay for 3. David, can you give some context to your question? I don't understand what you mean by finishing 1 month. What are you finishing in 1 month? Okay, I've tried paying for the UX course, but it wasn't going through. Tope, that should be from your bank. I do not know. You just need to check on your banking service and really find out what the problem is. Amirat, are you still having the issues with not being able to hear my audio or see my video? Please let me know. Yes, Salu, we will be learning about auto layouts. Actually, auto layouts are not as complex as people think them to be. When you do understand how to use auto layouts, believe me, you're going to love it. And you're going to be scolding yourself like, why was I stressing myself out? So yes, we will be learning that. Can you use your Dribble link as your portfolio? Now, you can use your Dribble link, yes, as your portfolio if you're applying for a UI position and they just want to see, you know, your UI designs. Or if you do pay for Dribble Pro, then you have more features and you can create a full case study. But if you're using the free version of Dribble, the only thing that you can upload on Dribble would be pixels, and that's just one shot. So it really depends on what you're applying for. You need a portfolio. Again, you need a portfolio for internships. You need a portfolio to get a job. You need a portfolio. People need to see what you've done before and what you're able to do. So yes, you need a portfolio. Goodness, I totally understand how you feel. It's so overwhelming. I understand that. Just take it slow and just keep learning. I understand how you feel. It's so overwhelming. Okay, you can build your portfolio you can use Behance. You can also have a personal portfolio site. Gabriel, yes, you can do that. Okay. Can you use your Behance link as your portfolio? Yes, of course you can use it. I personally use my Behance as my portfolio. Yes, I use my Behance as my portfolio. Although I have a PDF portfolio, and that is a private portfolio that I only send out if I am applying for a job at a company. I can send out this portfolio because it contains other design works that you may not find in my public portfolio online. So yes, I have different portfolios. I have an online portfolio, I have a private portfolio as well. So yes, you can do that as well. Okay, when creating a portfolio, do we have to include the whole process, like the user persona? Yes, you have to tell those stories. You have to explain those design processes to really, yes, you need to put all of those things into it. And take note, your case study is a summary of what you did. You don't want to put, let's say, for example, you created an application and, you know, there are like 40 screens and you have like 40 wireframes and all of this stuff. You don't want to put like all those 40 screens in your case study. No, it's a summary. What you want to do is to put the key screens, like the key journeys, the key screens into your case study. So it's a summary. Your case study is a summary of, you know, what you did. Will we be able to practice making I really don't understand, Miriam, what you're saying. Okay. And user research, we will be having practical classes for UI design. UX design, I always tell my learners and the students that I mentor to go and take the Google UX design course. Again, go and take the UX course by Google on Coursera. It is very comprehensive. It has been put out by experts in this field. So do go and take the course. It's very detailed. Yes. Okay, Ayodeji says, I got an offer to help someone design a website. I'm still learning and I'm kind of afraid to accept the offer. I also don't know how much to charge. Advise me, please. Okay, let me start with how much to charge. So a lot of designers have issues. They be like, what do I charge and how do I charge? Now, depending on where you are, and basically depending on where you are, you want to use Google to search for how much UX designers earn where you are. And then with that kind of information, it gives you an insight to like, okay, this is how much a UX designer would earn, or this is how much a UI designer would earn. And then look at those figures and really ask yourself, are you comfortable with that amount? Is that with your experience and with that amount of money, are you comfortable with that? Because it has to do with your expected salary. Yeah. So you need to ask yourself, is this what I want? And if it falls within that range, then yes, you can charge that. Now, another thing you want to do is also ask the person about their budget. But this is something that I've talked about a lot. But then again, sometimes when you come with asking people about what's the budget for this particular role, it just seems like maybe you don't know how much you're worth. So most of the time, it's better to just tell them what you're worth and what you're expecting. Don't give a particular price, like say, okay, pay me this amount. Rather, give a range that you are comfortable with. Say a range of this 1,000 to this 1,000 is what I'm expecting to earn. Now, with being afraid, I'm going to say, Ayo, do it afraid. You can, when you do get the job and when you do accept the offer, if it's something that you can work with other designers and you're willing to work with other people, you can go ahead and do that and get somebody who's a little bit more experienced to work with you. But you need to start, because this is what you want to do, right? You started out as a UX, you started out learning UX, UI to, have this job, and now you have an offer. So you need to do it. Don't be afraid. You can do it. I'm really pushing for you. You can do it. Your crypto app tutorial made me understand the whole hype about auto layout. Thanks, Nabel. Okay, guys, I'm really happy that you're able to understand auto layout, although that's not all about auto layout. But yes, when are we having the class? Pretty soon we're going to be having the class. So yeah, oh my God. As a website designer newbie, how long do you have to learn UX, UI design before becoming good? It's a continuous learning process, like I said, and you really need to keep learning, keep practicing in order for you to become better. Okay, this is the last question I'm going to take. It's okay, it's okay, Hope, if you gave a company a specific price, it's okay if you did that, but henceforth you should give them a range, which is much more better. Abdul, as a newbie designer, what can I do? What can I do when there's power outage to improve my design? I think you basically need to get a generator or something. This is really funny. Okay, Waris is saying, I am just joining the space. I am confused right now. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. It's like 10 p.m. my time, and I'm so happy to have everybody here. I mean, you guys are amazing. It's really, I'm gonna really end the live class right now. um, Thank you so much, Gani. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, Rivan, IB. Thank you, David. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy you guys came. I'm really, really happy you guys did attend this session with me. And it's really been a wonderful time. This is like my first time utilizing the Lighthall platform for this. And yeah, I've really learned some new things and how to multitask. So I'm so happy. I hope you guys learned something from this session. I hope to communicate with you guys continuously on the Telegram group. If you're not in the Telegram group, please, you can join using the link on my profile on Twitter. So yes, thank you so much. It's like 10 p.m. my time, like I said, and I really need to go to bed. Tomorrow is Friday. I got work to do. So thank you all so much, and have a great day. I don't know, it could be afternoon your time, it could be evening. So do have a great time. And the answer to the quiz question is UX design. UX design is the answer to the quiz question. So yes, thank you so much, guys. Bye. Bye, King. Bye, Gani. Bye, Taiwo. Bye, Gladys. Bye, Paul. Taiwo says he doesn't want to go. Please go. Bye, Busola. Bye, Jem. Bye, Marianne. Bye, Nora. Bye, Isaac. Bye, Habib. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye, Titi Lola, Precious, Goodness, Faye, Promise, Carlos, Smart, Waris, Balikis, Moritala, Oluwafemi, Latif. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.